I have to say this one completely confused me and surprised me. So the expectations for the Dom Pérignon P2 2003, a bottle found me, and I found friends who want to share a bottle, so we're going to drink it today. And I'm very curious to see, because I had this last year and of course the year before that and the year before that, and to see that can it go further, can it peak higher than it did, because I expected it to be a 97, and it was last year. I tasted twice. Actually, maybe last year I tasted a bit more than twice, but then this year I haven't tasted yet, and I'm curious because now it's around the prime should start, and can it go higher than that, because the vintage is weird. Like, it is a fatty big vintage, but as a P2 it is absolutely stunningly beautiful. I understand what Jeffrey was visioning when he created the cuvée, because the regular 2003, when I first tasted as a young vintage in I think it was in 2011, if I'm not mistaken, 12 or something like that, and I was shocked about it. I couldn't understand it. It took me a long time, almost like 10 years, to start to kind of like it, but then the gastronomical possibilities with this one is just insane. If you have a good chef, they can create some amazing combinations. And so, the verdict for the P2000 2003, I have to say this one completely confused me and surprised me. On the taste, of course you find the typical layers of coffee, vanilla, and some citrus fruits, but the fattiness is something like new layer added on top of it, and with that the brioche comes also stronger, but none of this takes away from the balance, and that's why it's very confusing to drink this as a Dom Pérignon, but also delicious, so I don't mind. But yeah, it was completely mind-boggling. It's like, I knew that it would be different, but still to experience what you're waiting for, and I have to say that it succeeded my expectations, which is rare, and I like that. So yeah, I'm very happy with drinking this. So also because I need to drink it yearly, so I got now it checked from my list. I have tasted this, I think this was the 6th time if I'm not correct, but the first time was 3 years ago when it was just launched, and then every year I've tasted it at least once, because that's what I want to do and keep following the progress. And usually it doesn't change that much, but this one is something different. Just for the taste, let's go immediately to the taste. It is completely different than any other Dom Pérignon, any other P2, because of the vintage. The vintage is fatty, it is big, but it still has the elegance and the acidity and the balance there. It's just mind-boggling. I thought, like, on my book, it's somewhere there. You know the book of Dom Pérignon. I wrote the predictions for the future, and I have to kind of agree with that. What I did there, and it's just something amazing. Like, the fattiness, we had some oysters with that, which is always a perfect combination because of that rare fattiness that exists in this one. But like, it's just mind-boggling, and I showed it to one of my friends who never tasted P2 before, and he is now a believer in P2, which is kind of funny. I'm curious when he will taste the 06 or the 04, and just to see how was it the fattiness that was there, because it is something unique there. If you have a chance, do taste the 2003 P2. It is just something nice. I think it will still develop for the next year and then reach and keep that for a couple of years where it is, but it is truly worth the price. It's like a 550 euro bottle, something like that. So it is a very decent price for a 21-year-old champagne that is in its peak. And for the points, I'm still torn. I am still torn. I was expecting that would it be like the 97 or even go down to 96, but I'm pretty sure I have to go to 98. Not like, whoa, it's just there, but it is on the brick of it. It's just over the line or almost the line. And I have this rule that if you are pondering between 2 points, you just round up upwards. So apparently, I'm now a fan of 2003 as a vintage, which was completely confusing for me from the beginning. It took me decades to understand it, and well, here we now have it. It's yeah. Have you tasted 2003 P2 Dom Pérignon? What do you think of the P2 2003?